long success rate is 30th among 32 eligible quarterbacks. The only two quarterbacks that Bo Nix is ahead of in success rate is rookie Dylan Gabriel and rookie Cam Ward. But within the struggles of the offense, where it's really turned into a slog, is when Bo Nix is trying to push the ball downfield. And we were asking to see more of that not too long ago. The results, Phil, are not good. Bo has a passer rating of 72 on deep passes this year, according to Next Gen Stats. That's passes of more than 20 yards down the field. Passer rating of 72 on those deep passes. That places him 23rd amongst 33 eligible quarterbacks. His 2024 deep ball rating last year as a rookie, I told you it's 72 now. Phil, it was 108 in the fifth highest mark in the NFL. Like,
the question is what the heck is going on?
Yeah. That is disturbing. That type of cliff is really, really disturbing.
Well, you know what, Zach? I'm thinking of something right now. There's a player that hasn't been playing. And even when he has been playing, we haven't utilized him as much downfield, by the name of Marvin Mims. Now, last year and the year before that, Marvin Mims, we always talked about Marvin Mims not being this receiver that can run every route in the route tree, but we always said that he can do that deep ball. Well, a lot of times, right, it wasn't Troy Franklin last year hitting the deep balls.
Nope.
Now, at the end of the year in the playoff game against Buffalo, it was a great deep ball that helped Troy Franklin become Troy Franklin of today. But Bo was going with the 50-50 balls to Courtland and Marvin Mims for those deep balls. A guy who hasn't been there for two weeks.
Yep,
but
true.
also when he's in there, we're not utilizing him downfield because Sean wants Troy Franklin to be the receiver too. Sean wants Troy Franklin to become that receiver, that deep ball threat. And I understand why with the speed, the separation, he can run the routes. But that's who it seems like we're missing. We're missing Marvin Mims' speed. We're missing Marvin Mims being out there. And we're also missing what we talked about yesterday involving Courtland Sutton. So if Bo Nix wants to start doing better at throwing the deep ball, he needs to start hitting the receivers that are going to catch your deep balls for you and more consistent. That's Marvin Mims when he comes back, which I think he's coming back this week. And it's Courtland Sutton, who's your receiver one. That's where I would start when I want to get back on track, when I want to start completing these deep balls.
Well, that's a good place to start, right? Remember, like, what made your rookie year so good?
Yeah.
You know, Sutton was such a big part of it. Mims was such a big part of it. And obviously you can't control the Mims stuff. You know, he's been banged up with a concussion. But if you look back to last season, okay, when Marvin Mims really started to come on, I think it was like week 10, these are his longest catches per game from the Falcons game through the end of the season. Okay, so from right about now, actually, it was right about like next week when Marvin Mims really started to
heat up,
catch fire in the 2024 season. These are just the long. This is not his totals for the games. This is just his longest play. 37 yards, 37 yards, 93 yards. Browns Monday night. Just 11 against the Colts. 53 yards, 51 yards, 32 yards. I mean, think about that. So Mims had a play downfield almost every single, of 7 of 8 weeks to finish the season, Mims had a play downfield 32 yards or longer. In most cases, it was much longer, 51, 53, 93. So
he's the deep ball guy, a guy that even during camp, Zach, shocker, during camp, Marvin Mims was the guy that was catching the deep balls, was able to split 2 defenders. Now, Troy did it at times, and I see where they're going with Troy. But Mims and Bo Nix have a better connection downfield.
They do.
Courtland and Bo have a better connection downfield. And that's just the facts.
It's just the facts.
You got done explaining that. So we just solved the world's problems right there. Involve Marvin Mims in the deep ball. It's not just a gadgets guy. And we're not telling Mims he has to be a guy that's hitting the middle of the field and doing all the routes on the route tree. No. But it's his speed. It's the separation he's getting. It's the connection that Bo has with Mims. And maybe it's just the feel. But Marvin Mims comes up big, and you're going to have him back in the mix, hopefully.
Hopefully
we
he's find out tomorrow.
Yeah. For that deep threat opportunity, and Bo Nix needs to hit on him. And also, Court's just sitting right there. Now he's playing it cool, but you know deep down inside, he's starting to get upset. Get him involved.
Phil, we are I said this the other day with the defense and the offense in general, but I don't think we are too far away if Bo and Sean can't iron out these wrinkles for offensive players getting really frustrated. Really frustrated. And I think it's already started to happen. We saw Troy Franklin very upset. Actually, we didn't see it. It wasn't caught on television. But coming off the field, throwing his helmet, going to sit by himself. And this is a team that's won 7 in a row.
Yeah, 8-2 right now.
And so, but it feels like the level of frustration, or at least the outward level of frustration. I know guys are frustrated.
Yeah.
Guys are going to want their numbers and to produce. But the outward frustration element feels like it's like dental floss holding this together just offensively. So they got to get ironed out. And that would be great news if we find out tomorrow Marvin Mims is back, full participant in practice. That's a big deal.
For sure. And then think about this, Zach. All the way through the draft, through Bo Nix' college career, it's been the short game, correct? It's been getting the ball out of my hands.
Yes.
Let's make a play, screens, boom. Now you're telling this young man to start throwing it just deep when that's something he hasn't done in college. It's going to take time to develop. That's why he was even struggling this year, where you remember where you had Courtland Sutton down the sideline during a camp practice, and Bo Nix wasn't able to complete it to court because he didn't put the right pace on the ball. And what Courtland wanted was it to be a string, right on the dot. A little bit, they call it up down, where you get it up but get it right back down so that he has room to react to catch the ball and make a play. Well, with Bo, he put too much air under it. Well, that seems to continue to be the problem with Bo. There's been a lot of air under his passes where it's overthrows. So he needs to change his pace up. And the only time and the only way to do that is continuing to rep that in practice. So if you're going to throw a bunch of deep balls this game against Kansas City, you better rep that damn thing at least 10, 12 times during practice, where you're just getting it down with Court and Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin if you're going to continue to force that.
Well, a massive, massive task this week, all right, with Kansas City. Andy Reid has the greatest win percentage in NFL history coming off of a bye, all right? And Spags has got to be looking at this offense saying, we're gonna shut this down.
Yeah, he's like, I got something for that.
I find it hard to believe that the Broncos are going to simply out-execute Kansas City on offense without finding some connection downfield. This can't turn into the wing tee, or you're gonna have to do this. It's 2025 in the NFL.
Yeah.
And right now, how about this for a stat? Bo Nix' deep ball completion percentage is 26% on passes of 20 yards or more downfield. 26%. That ranks 28th in the NFL. You want to know where it was last year? 41% and ranked 6th. So he has really. I mean, you talk about a sophomore slump or whatever you would want to call it. We're living it. We're living it.
And now his best friend may not be playing. And his best friend is J.K. Dobbins, the run game. And so now you're sitting here looking at a team that has to figure out what they're going to do in the run game, but also correct the pass.
Yep.
It's going to be a rough one if we can't get some type of rhythm, some momentum going, some drives, sustained drives. And I'm not saying we can't do it. We can. Those men are out there. They're getting paid. Bo Nix, he can do it. But it has to be done. It hasn't been done yet, but it needs to start. And it starts with Bo Nix, Sean Payton, getting on that same page with the receivers.
Here is Sean Payton from yesterday on helping Bo Nix slow down the internal clock in his head, but also without losing his quick instincts to avoid sacks. I thought that was a good question. This is how Sean Payton answered it.
Well, I think it's a plus and a minus. I've said that before. I think one of his great strengths is not taking sacks. And so the clock in his head relative to that sense of urgency. So I think there is a fine line of, number one, the depth of route. Is this a longer developing play, a 7-step drop, a 5-step drop, a 3-step drop, and what should be the appropriate time. But I think that's a much easier problem to correct than the latter, which is taking the sacks, and historically speaking, has proven to be much more difficult to fix.
Yeah, and as much as I will disagree with Sean just here and there, with some of his approach or play calls or what have you, I do still think he's right on that. The fact that, and I didn't mention this yesterday when I was given the rankings for Bo Nix, and I should have, because it is still a superpower of his that he doesn't take sacks. Just 10 sacks taken in 10 games.
Yeah.
Only Sam Darnold, who might be playing on the best football team in the league right now, or amongst them, has taken less sacks in as many games as that Bo has. But man, you're seeing him. You're seeing Bo. It is almost like he is seeing ghosts a little bit. The way that he wants to escape the pocket. Like, he is really, really quick. And I know they want him to be out on the run. Davis Webb says he's the best thrower of the football on the run in the NFL. And throw a challenge flag on that. But
pick the challenge flag up, Zach.
But he is not comfortable in the pocket.
No, he's not.
And he's got time that he's not using. But you don't want him to camp out there and start taking sacks. But at the same time, like, he has got to find the balance here.
Well, it comes down to what Sean just got done saying. When it's a 7-step drop, do a 7-step drop. It's a 5, do a 5, 3, a 3, and trust your offensive line, who you paid a lot of money for. Trust your running back to pick up that extra guy if he's coming on a blitz. Step up in the pocket, climb that pocket if it's there, and make the throw. You can't be afraid to get hit. And I know it's hard to say that for a quarterback because your ribs are all open and these guys are huge. But if you're going to make these really good plays down the middle of the field, you're going to get hit a couple times. And it's okay, but make that play. And if you start to make it more times than not, everything else will open up for you.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you neglect your legs. If it's there, use those legs early. Pick up that first down. But if it's not, go through your process, and then you go from there. Trust your offensive line and your running backs to get the protection right. And then let's see what happens then.
Well, we'll see if J.K. Dobbins is available for this game. And we are, like, waiting with bated breath here. An update on Dobbins, who is seeking a second opinion about his foot. If he can't go here, and there's IR being, rumored that they're trying to figure out what to do with him. If he can't go this weekend, and let's just say he does have to go to IR, scale of 1 to 10, how big of a deal?
This is a huge deal. He's the best player right now on offense that's picking up the most consistent yards. He's a guy you can rely on to give you that first down. Although Sean doesn't want to go with him more times than not, when you do go with him, he does a good job.
Great job.
Now he may be out of the mix. You're going with a rookie running back that even Sean right now seems like he doesn't have confidence in. All right, you have Jalil, that's my guessing is going to play now. You have Tyler Bidet that they're going to play a little bit. Do you guys, do the coaching staff trust them? And then now for Bo, it's like they're going to force us to try to run the ball and stop our pass. And, Sean's still going to want to pass. Spagnuolo over there is going to have a great game plan to stop Bo Nix passing the ball. So I'm concerned. Because you have this offensive line that you put together to run the ball and J.K. Dobbins that you brought in on a good deal. And yet J.K. may not be there, and you're going to have to rely on some other running backs that you're not confident in.
So out of 10, what's the number?
I'm going 7. I'm going 7.
I don't think you're high enough. I'm being serious.
Oh, I'm high enough.
Ask me.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Zach.
9.
Let me finish.
9. No, I think this
9.
is a yes. I would almost rather take it. Save for. I was gonna say save for Bo. Yeah, I'll stick with that. Save for Bo. I think right now, I would rather miss any single other member of the Broncos offense and have J.K. Dobbins out there. Bowles, Sutton.
No, you start taking away your offensive linemen. The running backs are no good. You got to have the offensive line. You take them away, there's no running back.
I think you could take away any member of this offense, and it would be less impactful because the drop-off is we've seen the Broncos survive without their tackle. We've seen it.
Well, we're seeing the Broncos survive without running the ball.
Wait, say that again?
I said we're seeing the Broncos survive without even running the ball. Like, they don't run the ball enough. The identity of the team is run the ball, but yet they don't do it.
No, they do it enough. You have the 5th leading rusher in the entire league.
Yeah, because he's breaking tackles, not because he's getting a bunch of carries.
No, in attempts, he's 5th as well. The Broncos are operating right now without Ben Powers. We've seen the Broncos operate without Mike McGlinchey. This offense is hanging by a thread because of J.K. Dobbins.
I never thought I would ever hear you say, Zach Bye, that you're concerned because a running back is out.
They do one thing well with one guy. Like it's not even like they have a successful run game across the board. They do one thing well on offense with one guy. And if he can't go, 9 out of 10. I mean, I am.
You're at a 9.
I am deeply concerned. Hopefully, I mean, We need good news here.
You see the bat machine over there? It's
The bat signal?
The bat signal. Jalil. It's your time. It's your time, Jalil.
Hey, he'll get an opportunity if JK can't go more than likely. So we'll see what he does with it. But yeah,